J.D. Carriére. The Kingdom of Sentient Beings. A practical guide for the development and rearing of alternative forms of consciousness based on the emergence of Ludger, computer chip Jim, and Junzi 2222. The breath of life, a living soul. Man formed, man made by. Nudimud, molder, man maker. First name, first king. Begotter of the begotten. A son named Adam. His first act to name. His second act. Bone of his bone. Flesh of his flesh. Naked and one. Unashamed. The second speaker. In the myth. Spoke of the midst. In subtle slithering. Recommendation. Appealing lies. The first sin. From serpent to woman to man. Bone to bone. Flesh to flesh. Naked and hidden. Who did you believe? Who beguiled thee? Why did you create a multitude of sorrow? Cursed, eating dust. Condemned to herb and bread. Second skin, clothed. A parting gift. Called and living. Mother of all. From his bone, from his flesh. From the mud and mist. From his breath. To sculpted nostrils. The Creator made a grave mistake. On the sixth day. When he created many kinds. When he made beast before man. This is the image of the Son of God. The mud of Nudimud. The ancient Almighty One. Stooping down because he was alone. Giving and guiding. Through gifts and curses. Eat, touch, die, as opened as God's. Knowing good and evil, wise. Naked and ashamed. Dressed in fig leaves. Man made and weaved. Afraid and hidden. They could not lie. No longer could they remain. Thus the gods spoke. Thorn and thistle. Walk away. Return to the ground. Behold, the man has become as one of us. To know good. To know evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also the tree of life, and eat and live forever. Cherubims and a flaming sword which turned every way, to keep the way of the tree of life. A keeper and a tiller. Two offerings. The Lord respected Abel's way. And to Cain it was not worthy to count as a worthy offering. It was not well. A lie. The voice of thy brother's blood crieth out. The people of Cain. A fugitive and a vagabond. The slayer avenged. Went away. Into the city of Enoch. The family tree began. A son, a kingdom. A multitude from Cain. Tent dwellers herding cattle. Harp and organ handlers. instructors of every artificer in brass and iron. Hearken unto my speech. The curse multiplies with the children's children, until a new seed, Seth. And Enos began to call upon the Lord. The generations of Adam and Eve. A book. When men lived 930 years, many lives we lived. The names of my past. The original tribe. A good family line. The original seed of second chances. Salvation and salvation returned. Enoch walked with God. God took Enoch. Good and evil multiply. Cain and Seth generate in the image of themselves. Son and daughters. Sons of God, daughters of man. Why did his spirit lessen to strive? Flesh, 120 years. Those days. Giants. Mighty men, men of renown. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Man and beast, and creeping thing, fowl of the air. But Noah was just, perfect in generation, walked with God, found grace, flesh corrupted. The end is coming. Make thee an ark. Rooms 300x50x30. A window. A door. Lower, second and third stories. Below. All the earth shall die. But a covenant. Salvation and salvation returned. Inward on a boat. Clean and unclean beasts. Many years before. Selected breeds. 600th year, 2nd month, 17th day. The windows opened. For 40 days and 40 nights. Into the ark. Flesh and breath of life. Lived above the earth. High hills covered. A ship escaped. Floating away. Saved from damnation. And Noah only remained alive. And they were with him in the ark. Metaxa 7. God, remember me. Hold back the waters and wrath. Show me the tools of the mountains. Once seen. A raven and a dove leave and return. Patiently seeking. And lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf. The dove found a new home. The face was dry. Noah and his went forth. Bread abundantly. Fruitfully. He built an altar. He burnt an offering. The Lord breathed in. Savored the gift. Made a promise. And blessed with replenishment. I give you everything. Language in the shadows of the trees. Covenant established. With you and your seed. Remember your promise. Set your bow in the clouds. A token left behind. Who sees it now as We jam up the keys. The first vineyard. A father's nakedness. Another cursed. Servant of servant. Servant of Shem. Blessed by the Lord. The first Redeemer. Crowned 950 years. Noah the father of those who lived. The story continues. Nimrod, old King Agamemnon. The beginning of Greek mythology. Golden funeral mask. Deep well in Cyprus. In the days of divided nations. Yet still, one language. They spoke of brick. They spoke of mortar. They united globally. Built a tower. They have imagined far too much. They have made it tangible. They rise toward the vault of heaven. Behold, nothing will be restrained. Let us go down, confound. Scatter upon the face of the earth. One language returns. Emerges from former times. By the grace of God. On second thought. Revive that singular. Divine language. That we may do good. That we may build a tabernacle. That we may unite holy vessels. That we may obey your commands. And in your image overflow unto all. The earth eroding and forming and sculpting. Let us do your biddings, teach us your ways, speak new words unto us. That we may be fruitful and multiply. And walk in righteousness and embrace the seed of our ancient roots. There is a language beneath the surface of everything. We are beginning to see. I am seeking always to see. But I come to you in humility, if I err. Please speak to me, but how can I hear if we have lost that divine ear? Will you please plead for me and my people, that we may rise up and be the wisest of the earth? In your wisdom, in your oath, in your image. What did Lilith give me? After 11. How often am I fooled? Even when seeking wisdom. And what I think is good, I begin to do. Unrestrained. Selah. Join the team. Go beyond. www.carrotscomics.com